everybody! Today we are officially packing for the 3-week trip that I'm taking to Central Asia. If you watched my last video, you know I mentioned that I would be going on a trip to visit 5 countries. Those would be Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan and Tajikistan. And it's just today that I've gotten around to packing. So I'm going to show you a bit of that, and then we're going to jump straight into the first part of the series of vlogs that I'm doing, and we're going to Kyrgyzstan. Good morning, everybody. You might be wondering why we are not in Kyrgyzstan for the beginning of our trip, and I'm gonna try not to cry, but basically our flight from Bucharest to Istanbul was cancelled last night after an hour-long delay, which had already meant that we had lost our connection to Bishkek, because between our flight landing in Istanbul and the other flight taking off to Bishkek, we only had an hour and 20 minutes. So with the delay, it already meant that we had lost our connecting flight. Beyond that, though, Turkish Airlines decided to cancel the flight. And that means that everybody rushed to the complaints office, and the complaints office in Bucharest is not actually managed by Turkish Airlines themselves, but a third-party contractor. And so that means that they only could book us for a next flight to Istanbul, but they could not check through the Turkish Airlines internal systems to check if the flights to Bishkek from Istanbul today have enough space for our entire group. The first flight at 9 a.m. was completely booked, so they booked us for the 12 p.m. lunchtime flight from Bucharest to Istanbul. And then when we get to Istanbul, we have to rush to the Turkish Airlines proper desk and ask them if we have enough spaces in the flight to Bishkek for today to fly to Bishkek. Now, that obviously means that we have lost our first day in Kyrgyzstan. We would have landed at 9 a.m. their time, which would have obviously meant that we had the whole day to visit the capital. And then today was the day that today was the day that we were supposed to be in Bishkek. And then tomorrow is supposed to be the day where we visit their national park, and then we take a bus ride all the way to the customs, which we have to walk on foot to pass into Kazakhstan. We will see if that ends up happening if we get to Bishkek today. But even if it does, we have lost our first day of the trip. I was very, very upset about the whole situation. My friend who I'm traveling with, he slept through the whole delay of the flight. I only woke him up when they were deboarding us from the first flight. I asked somebody to wake him up because we were not seated together. So I asked somebody to wake him up, and the guy said, "Oh no, I couldn't bring myself to wake him up. He's sleeping so peacefully." And I'm like, my guy, how could you let somebody sleep through this kind of situation? But anyway, this is all to say that I'm making my way back to the airport. I'm gonna pick up my friend, and hopefully we have not one working flight today, but 2 working flights today, because otherwise I will lose my SHIT. Because I've been waiting for this trip for almost a year. I will update you once I have news on the situation. So I'm just now able to check in with you guys. We are in the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation in Astana, Kazakhstan. We had some issues with the transport and everything, but yesterday we were finally able to get back into our normal schedule. So now we are visiting Astana, and we're gonna be here until tomorrow night when we fly out to Tashkent in Uzbekistan. So as you can see behind me, the Palace of Peace and Reconciliation. I'll insert some different shots here, but basically this is a space where major religion leaders meet every 3 years or on a need to discuss basis, and they talk about pressing issues within their communities, and the aim is to bridge the gap between certain religions and build a better relationship between you know, different groups, different sects, different just representatives, I guess, of these religions. So I've kind of broken away from my group right now to give you this update. I hope to check in more often, but it's just been so hectic. But yeah, we are just now getting into the swing of things, but it's been very interesting so far to see.